Thank you very much for the organizer to invite me. I'm Lioz Etgar from the Hebrew University Institute of Chemistry in Jerusalem. I will show you a little bit maybe different concept what you saw so far. Okay, this how. So this is one way, let's say, to drive the car which is coated by solar cells. But probably it's not the most efficient. This is actually I was last week in Singapore, and this is one option really nice to do it. So I'm coming from the photovoltaic field, from the solar cell field, but I will not talk how we are driving our car with a solar cell, but how we combine the solar cell to finally generate some hydrogen. So I think it's quite, let's say, acceptable that the solar energy is by far the largest energy source on Earth. There's no question about that. We just need to use it in the right way. Of course, for example, in Germany, they are doing it quite well during all the year, also from solar and also from the wind. But the concept that we want to go to is to take the photovoltaic cells that we are doing in my lab and to actually combine it and to generate what is called a solar fuel, which is not a new concept, but I will show you what is new here. And the challenge here, I think, is actually what is the holy grail for several decades, to take a PV, to take the energy, or let's say the current and the voltage from this photovoltaic cell, and to split the water to get the hydrogen. But so far, the most common solar cells that were used are silicon-based solar cells, and unfortunately, the voltage they can generate is quite low, which means that you need at least 3 to 4 and maybe more cells of silicon in order to do that. And this is why it's still not the best way to go in this direction. So the challenges we have, let's say in the PV field, is of course to find a new material which will be low cost, very efficient, and of course stable. From the point of view of solar fuels, we are looking for a earth abundant catalyst, which will be efficient and stable, of course. And finally, we want to combine both of them, and this is the main idea, to combine and to take actually one single cell that will have a wide bandgap semiconductor, probably a metal oxide with the photovoltaic cell, and finally the sun will hit the cell, will hit the solar cell and generate hydrogen on the other side. So I think today we are already there, at least from almost more than half of the work, which means that from the photovoltaic era we have a new material which was discovered, let's say, it was not discovered, but it was really a breakthrough 4 years ago, which called the perovskite. And today, the efficiency of those sources based on perovskite is reaching more than 22%. And this is quite amazing. I don't know on a technology in the PV that really increasing the efficiency so fast. So we are really in this direction. An additional way to do it, we can also combine it with silicon. So we don't need to throw all what we know about silicon. We can make a tandem cell, and today we can reach close to 30% with this tandem structure and to generate high voltage. And this is what I said before. With this kind of solar cell, we can really generate nicely the hydrogen with a much smaller areas. So what is really fast? The perovskite, actually it's a hybrid material which has several components, but the main advantage that you can do it from solution with a very low cost materials, with a reasonable low temperature, getting a very high quality semiconductor, and finally you can tune optical properties very easily. No need for any colloidal synthesis or going to a more sophisticated or high vacuum stuff. So it's really, really easy and repeatable process. On the other side, we have the solar fuel, and in this direction, there is no question that we need to stick to the wide bandgap oxide semiconductor. And finally, if we combine both of them, on one side the halide perovskite, on the other side the metal oxide, we will have what we want, and this is the solar fuels that we are thinking of. So let's say the goals and the key question in this area is how we can get a more efficient and more stable halide perovskite, how we can, of course, maybe reduce the efficiency losses by understanding the interfaces, and finally, how we can design or find a large bandgap semiconductor which can really generate the solar to fuel efficiency. So today, and I make it really in a few points, but this is a lot of work in my lab. We can generate cells which have 1.4 volt voltage from a single cell, and this is more than twice what a silicon can get, with more than 20% efficiency. So we are already there from actually the powers that we can split the water, and also some work have been done on the stability, and we see that we can really trust in terms of the light intensity. So the concept is to have the light to generate the charges that finally will split the water and get the hydrogen out. So as I said, my lab is concentrated mainly on this direction, and in order to complete the whole picture, we are thinking of to get the best researchers in Israel to attack and to tackle this problem, to finish, to get a nice solar fuel system. And in order to do that, we combined several groups. The first group is coming from the Weizmann Institute, led by Professor David Kahn and Gary Hodges, with the new faculty member Omer Yaffe. We have the Ben Gurion University. We have two groups, mainly the Debocare group, who are concentrating on stability or really a degradation of semiconductor or materials. We have Mendy Shalom, who are specialists on electrocatalysts. We have the Bar Ilan, led by Professor Aryeh Tzaban group, and my group from the Hebrew University. So the main idea is to go from the photovoltaic to the solar fuel. And as I said, from the results we have now, we are more than half the way to there. And let's say this may be an opportunity now, since we have a PV that can really generate at a low cost, very high efficiencies and voltage, and maybe this will be the right direction. Of course, I want to thank my whole group members, my funding agency, and for your attention. Thank you.